Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our How to Take Over the World session. My name is Marc Ashton, and it is my absolute pleasure to host you this evening. Our theme for this evening is how to make fearless decisions in 2023. I hope you're going to enjoy this presentation and the one that followed from our other speakers. Looking forward to engaging with you this evening. So we always get asked why how to take over the world. And the answer is it actually finds its roots all the way back in under COVID, where we were building a business. We kind of started to put together a team, and we were starting to try and find ways to be able to share knowledge, insights, interact with our clients, interact with our stakeholders. And we were a relatively young team. So what we did was we started a session every Friday morning at 7 o'clock where we would have this concept of how to take over the world. You know, normally in a normal office environment, you've got the opportunity to engage around the water cooler, in the canteen, etc. This was the way that we were able to engage with our team. We built this session called How to Take Over the World, and each week each member of the team had to come present on something they'd learned, a skill they'd picked up, something they'd read in the week, and be able to share. So we're able to get some of this concept of presentation skills, communication skills, etc., and be able to learn from each other. And this has kind of taken hold it's been part of our culture since we started. We used to present every Friday, and now we're looking to expand on this concept. So a little bit about us and our ethos. So first thing, we believe women are taking over the world. I think if you look in financial services in the US, just post-COVID, I think it was the number of women in financial services actually overtook the number of men employed in that sector. If you look at the makeup of our team, we've got a number of talented young women who have joined the team and are gradually building it out. We're a big believer that young people need to be given a chance. I think a lot of projects that we work on involve things like social impact. And one of the things you've realized is that there's so much potential out there. We've just got to be able to go and give young people an opportunity to work together, get some work experience. We will make mistakes as we go along, but one of the ways that we've been able to build a really solid young workforce is giving people the space to be able to engage and be able to get out there and work. We very much have an investor mindset. We've always worked with the guys from Easy Equities, and what you'll see is when we, every time a new team member joins, we actually deposit a bit of money in their account so that they're able to go and experience what it's like to be a business owner, an investor. They can take a risk without necessarily putting their own money on the line. And we found that this has been one of the things we've been able to gamify along the way. We've been able to give challenges. We did 10 from bowling in one day, and we very much use Easy Equities vouchers as a way to be able to encourage our team to become investors rather than employees. Very much look at partnerships. We've had long-standing partnerships with the likes of BE123, the Youth Employment Service. We've had a lot of work with the ladies from Uzenzele. So very much we are of the mindset that we can't do everything, but we'd like to be able to have powerful and meaningful partnerships along the way. And then, of course, what gets you up in the morning, doing things like social impact projects. So some of the things that we've worked on there, if you look at the Blossom Care Solutions model that we've worked with sanitary pads, the team from Solana are currently rolling out renewable energy and solar energy projects. We've worked on a couple of different things in the youth employment space, but very much we've wanted to be able to drive this concept of social impact in the work that we do. So, when we started out, people actually asked me, like, what is it you actually do? And I think one of the things that I've discovered as we've gone along is very much seeing how many hours Marc can sell in the day. One of the things we wanted to try and do in 2023 is formalize our structure a bit. And we've effectively broken up the business into 4 distinct parts where we'll be working with some of the different team members to be able to build out what it is that they do and what they specialize in. So I'm going to be looking after working capital, it's access to finance, working capital solutions, DTRC grants and incentives, agro processing support scheme, and some remuneration strategies for businesses. In terms of the human capital, Nelly Mahale will be looking after this. She primarily focuses on recruitment, outsourced human resources, identifying non-executive directors for the business, working with some remuneration strategies and ES implementations. In Montakio, we'll be doing impact investment solutions. So this includes things like in the healthcare space, you've got things like Blossom Care Solutions, youth employment solutions, education initiatives, entrepreneurship through our Adopt an SME program, which we've been doing some quite interesting things there. And I think we've got quite an interesting model that we're developing there. And Breslau will be looking after our investor communications offerings. So that'll be investor relations, reporting and communication strategy, stakeholder engagement, media relations, and content development. Who is supported by? We've got a very cool team. Pat is looking after the SME.tax offering. Billy Engelbrecht is on the design side of things. Jessica Rousseau has been working on social media and business development. Voya Tibete is part of the SME.tax team. Cameron Cross has been doing impact reporting and communications. And Amber's been one of our long-standing team members looking at communications and PR strategies for the businesses. Just a quick look at some of the partnerships we mentioned up front. We've obviously got BE123 and Skills123, Uzunzele, Dynamic Body Technology on the corporate wellness side, and the team from Crayon who assist us with some of the recruitment opportunities that we've got there. Yeah, I'd like to say we do some really cool stuff, and I think this is what gets us out of bed in the morning. And just having a quick look at some of the media coverage we've managed to secure for our clients. Top left-hand corner there was great to be able to see the guys from DefTouch, one of our adopted SME partners, being featured on Cliff Central. We've done a number of things like our Meet the Management Investor Series, where we interviewed managers and CEOs of the various JSE-listed small caps, as well as some of the venture capital fund managers. We've done some things around innovation, coverage in the different media publications, and Emma's been able to build out her Women in Business podcast, which I think is starting to gain some interesting traction. Blossom Care Solutions, I think if you look at this, it's a model that we've been working on for the last 4 or 5 years. We've now been involved in the rollout of 3 of the 7 factory sites, and being able to give the opportunity to young women to not only get work experience, learn a little bit about entrepreneurship and healthcare, but also be able to extend this to enterprise and supplier development initiatives that basically deliver impact in their community. Solana Energy, I think this is one of the cool things that we really enjoyed working on in 2022. We've seen the development of a training center in the Richards Bay area in conjunction with South 32, training young solar installers. And we see a great opportunity here to expand this in the enterprise and supply development space. Working with the Sharks, I think this is one of the things that we've enjoyed doing with the Sharks Business Rugby Center, Sharks Rugby Business Center, I should say, where we've worked with a couple of the different entrepreneurs that are based there. And one of the things that we've been able to do is engage with these young entrepreneurs, help them with video content, help them with their accounts, and basically give them somebody that they can lean on and be able to help them navigate the joys of starting a small business. Our Youth Employment Service, I think it's one of our longest standing partnerships. We've worked very closely with the team from Yes, and we're looking forward to being able to take it into the new projects and new opportunities in 2023. Yeah. So before I hand over to our next speaker, I really wanted to use this opportunity to share some reasons to feel optimistic. And yeah, I'm going to start with this. We're all going to die. I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but it is a reality. We've got the choice of either being optimists and seeing where we're going. South Africa has plenty of challenges. But the reality is we can either focus on the challenges or we can focus on the opportunities. I think tourism sector is definitely one to watch at the moment. I think that if we can, what people don't understand about the opportunity in the tourism sector is its sheer scale and opportunity. I think there are a couple of things there. Most people wouldn't know this, but it's actually bigger than both the agriculture and manufacturing sectors in South Africa. What's cool about the tourism sector is that it brings in foreign income in terms of guys that are coming in with either business or leisure travel. Barriers to entry quite low from an employment perspective. So in other words, if we can just get that the tourism sector working, if we can just get to pre-COVID levels, we'll add another 1 million jobs to the economy. So we're really, really excited about what's happening in the tourism sector. Some infrastructure projects are starting to receive commitments. I think that this is one of the big challenges we have in South Africa is our infrastructure is under a lot of pressure, whether it's electricity, whether it's water, whether it's roads, rail, etc. And I think we've reached the point where we've recognized that we now need to deploy our infrastructure spending. And I think you can start to see some of these projects coming online. A lot of work to do, and I think there's going to be a big push to try and get our investment levels up. But I think if you watch the infrastructure space, there could be some exciting things happening there. Employment picture is sort of improving. I think that there's we obviously look at the youth unemployment rate, and we think, is there ever going to be a dent that can be made in it? But I think you've been able to see a steady improvement in the employment rate across the country. Still unsustainably high at the moment, but I think that there is an opportunity there that we can look to take some hope and optimism out of. Ultimately, we want to build the ultimate consulting company. We think that we've done some interesting things over the last couple of years. I think we share the evolution of being a small business. We're really, really excited about what it is that we have achieved, and we are looking forward to having a really optimistic and successful 2023. So the question is, are you with us?